Hey guys, it's Krins. Recently I've been doing a lot of low-level dungeons using the dungeon finder in-game. And I've been running into a not insignificant amount of people who don't know what heirlooms are. Even more people who don't have them, but actually a lot of people who just don't know what it is. So I figured I'd go through it real quick here. What are heirlooms and how do you get them? So if you go into your collection tab, let's see here, you see there's a tab called heirlooms. You click it and these are my heirlooms. So you get heirlooms by summoning them from your heirlooms tab. So you can see I can get as many of one item as I want. You can't sell them or anything. There are a couple of ways to get them, but the two main ones, the two important ones, are you buy them from the Heirloom Vendor in Undercity if you're Horde, or Iron Forge if you're Alliance. And the pieces you can't get there, most of them you'll get from a guild vendor in either Stormwind for Alliance and Orgrimmar for Horde. Your guild does need to have certain achievements unlocked, so if you create an entirely new guild, odds are you can't get all the heirlooms, and if you join a freshly made guild, you might not be able to get all the heirlooms you want. So if you get invited to a guild, it usually pops up the guild achievement points, and if it's high, I would consider joining so you can pick up the heirlooms. Alright, let's go to the heirloom curator in Undercity right here. So you can see here, she sells, these are upgrades, you don't have to worry about those now. Most heirlooms scale up to level 60, the first level, and then you have to buy an upgrade, which puts it up to level 90, and then one from 90 to 100. And then from 100 to 110, and then 110 to 120, and you see they get progressively more expensive. And here are some of the heirloom pieces themselves. They cost about 500 gold each for most of them. I believe the weapons are a little bit more expensive. So the heirlooms themselves are 500 and the weapons are 750. Some heirlooms, but not all, but the armor pieces give you a bonus to experience. So you can see here, experience gained is increased by 10%. It's shown on my character here. That's 10%, that's nothing, that's 10%, that's 5%, that's 10%, that's nothing, and that's 10%. And then I have two heirlooms trinkets that do not give experience bonus. So what's so important with heirlooms is they scale up with level. So you can see here I have some green gloves, they're level 40, item level 40, and they're probably good for my level, which is 40 on this character. But once I'm 41, you know, they'll still be level 40. If you look at one of my heirlooms, they're item level 44. See if I have something, here we go. So I have a blue ring here, that's item level 45. When I get to level 41, these heirlooms will upgrade, and I believe probably be 45 or 46 item level. So they're slightly worse than a blue item you get appropriate for your level. But even if I get a blue item for these slots, I don't replace them. One, because you lose the experience bonus, which is very, very important. I mean, these combined I believe are 55%. And two, I'm just worried I'm gonna forget to replace it once I level up, so I just don't bother. If you get some epic items, they're even higher, and I still usually don't replace my heirlooms with epic items even though they're better, not counting the experience boost. Alright, let's go through it real quick. The slots you get: helmet, I believe you buy this either from this merchant or the guild vendor. I believe helmet is guild vendor. Neck, shoulder, same thing. Cloak, chest. And then we have bracers. You cannot get heirloom bracers as far as I know. Gloves, no heirloom gloves. Belt, no heirloom belt. Heirloom pants. Boots, no heirloom boots. There are 2 heirloom rings that I know of. Maybe it's even 3. But the 2 I know of from the top of my head is one you get from a fishing tournament in Stranglethorn Vale, and the other one you get from boat missions in Warlords of Draenor. For all intents and purposes, if you're a fresh player, then it's as if these rings don't exist. If you're really into fishing, you might want to look into winning the fishing tournament and getting the heirloom ring. But the Warlords of Draenor one, I decided to try to get that on a character, but I just leveled through that expansion so fast that I was nowhere close to getting the ring by the time my character was 120 already. Once Shadowlands comes out, this could change, as you could level through from level 10 to 50 in Warlords of Draenor, and then you can probably get it. So if you want the ring, I would suggest you consider doing that. This one I just bought from someone or from the auction house. This one scales up to level 120. I actually believe it's 80 or 100 by default, and I upgraded it. And that's just another one I bought. There are low level trinkets that are heirlooms. This one I think I bought in Battle for Azeroth. So there are some heirlooms you get from other sources other than the Heirloom Curator and Guild Vendor, but those two will cover most of your heirloom needs. Like, these aren't necessarily better than the ones you can buy from the regular merchants. It's just they're cooler. I like this one. Alright, so let's say you're a fresh player and you didn't know about heirlooms, which is what brought you to this video. Maybe you played Classic and you decided, hey, I'm just gonna try retail and check it out. These heirlooms are so important that I would really consider maybe even buying a WoW token for them, and you get the gold, because you're not gonna have 500 gold as a low level character in general. And especially, you're not gonna have 500 gold for each slot even. So I would consider buying a token for them. Otherwise, you usually get a high level boost with your purchase of BFA or Shadowlands. In Shadowlands you get a 120 boost. And if you do some high level content, you'll very quickly be able to get the gold, so you can buy heirlooms for your lower characters if you would rather do that. Once you buy 35 heirlooms, you get the achievement called Heirloom Hoarder, which gives you this mount here. I'm gonna summon it for you. And what's so special about this mount is you can use it from level 1. So this will make your questing so much faster as well. So it's almost worth buying 35 heirlooms just for that, even though you don't need 35 heirlooms for one character. If you have a token, I would recommend just buy 35 heirlooms so you have this mount and you can use it on all tunes. And that brings me to the next point, so that's really important about heirlooms. These are account wide. So now I'm on a male character. If I switch to a shaman, I would still have access to all these male pieces on the shaman. So you don't have to buy them for every character. You buy them once and then you have them. So if you buy cloth, you can have them on your warlock, on your mage, on your priest, whatever. You don't have to re-buy them over and over again. So if you're a bit undecided about what class you want to play, maybe you're thinking, maybe I want to play a paladin, a priest, a warlock, or a mage. Then an option could be to boost your paladin to 120, because he doesn't need the heirlooms then. And then from him you get the gold to buy the cloth heirlooms, which you can then use on the priest, the warlock, whatever you want. So depending on what you want to play, those are things you might want to consider. The necklace and the trinkets and the cloak can pretty much be used by all classes. They can, depending on which you look at, there can be some melee caster divide, but that's pretty much it. Alright, I think that was pretty much the important bits about the heirlooms. If you're completely new to retail WoW, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the game, and I hope you found this video useful. Thank you very much.